Ever wonder what's really going on behind the shiny logos of Amazon and Apple? We use their products every day. From the phones in our pockets to the packages that land on our doorsteps. They've made our lives incredibly convenient. But there's a side to these tech giants that they don't exactly advertise. Today, we're pulling back the curtain to explore the hidden costs of that convenience and innovation. This isn't about hating on them, but about understanding the full picture. Let's start with Amazon, the everything store. The promise is simple. Click a button, and almost anything you can imagine arrives in a day or two. It's magical. But how do they make that magic happen? The answer often lies in their fulfillment centers. You've probably heard stories about the working conditions, and unfortunately, many of them are true. Reports from journalists who have gone undercover, and from employees themselves, paint a tough picture. Workers face immense pressure to meet incredibly high quotas. They're often tracked by automated systems that monitor their every move, timing their bathroom breaks and flagging anyone who falls behind the relentless pace. This constant surveillance and pressure can lead to intense physical and mental strain. Imagine walking up to 15 miles a day inside a massive warehouse, grabbing, scanning, and packing hundreds of items per hour. It's grueling work, and many employees report feeling like they're just another cog in a giant, impersonal machine rather than a valued human being. The injury rates at Amazon warehouses are also a major point of concern. Studies have shown that the rate of serious injuries at Amazon facilities is significantly higher than the average for the warehousing industry. These aren't just minor scrapes. We're talking about injuries that can affect people for the rest of their lives. The company has pledged to improve safety, investing millions in new technologies and programs. But critics argue that the fundamental problem, the relentless focus on speed and productivity above all else. Then there's Amazon's environmental impact. Delivering billions of packages a year creates a massive carbon footprint. Think about all the planes, trucks, and vans crisscrossing the globe. Plus, all that packaging, the cardboard boxers, the plastic air pillows, the bubble wrap adds up to a mountain of waste. Amazon has made commitments to sustainability, like its climate pledge to be net zero carbon by 2040 and its investment in electric delivery vehicles. These are positive steps, but the sheer scale of their operation means their environmental footprint is still gigantic. It's a classic case of one step forward, two steps back, as the company's growth continues to fuel more consumption and more deliveries. And what about Amazon's effect on small businesses? While the Amazon Marketplace offers a platform for small sellers to reach a global audience, it's a double-edged sword. Amazon is not just the landlord. It's also the biggest competitor. They have access to all the sales data on their platform. This means they can see which products are selling well and then launch their own, often cheaper, versions under their Amazon Basics brand. This practice has led to accusations of Amazon using its platform to unfairly crush small businesses, essentially using them as free market research before swooping in to take over. Now, let's shift gears and talk about Apple. Apple is the epitome of cool. Their products are beautifully designed, user-friendly, and have a reputation for quality. Holding a new iPhone feels like holding a piece of the future. But just like with Amazon, there's a story behind the sleek glass and aluminum that's not quite as polished. A big part of that story is manufacturing. Apple designs its products in California, but the assembly is largely done by contractors in China, most famously. The conditions in these factories have been under scrutiny for over a decade. In the early 2010s, a series of worker suicides at Foxconn facilities brought international attention to the immense pressure employees were under. They were working incredibly long hours for low pay, living in crowded dormitories, and facing harsh management. In response to the public outcry, Apple and Foxconn promised to improve conditions. They implemented changes like raising wages, limiting overtime, and providing better mental health support. And to their credit, conditions have improved from their worst point. However, labor rights groups say that problems persist. Reports of excessive and sometimes forced overtime, especially during the launch of a new iPhone, still surface. The fundamental model of relying on a massive low-cost labor force to produce devices on a tight schedule remains in place. Then there's the environmental side of Apple. Mining the rare earth minerals needed for our iPhones and MacBooks is an environmentally destructive process. It can lead to deforestation, soil erosion, and water contamination. Furthermore, Apple has historically been criticized for making their products difficult to repair, using proprietary screws, gluing components together, and tightly controlling the supply of replacement parts pushes consumers to either pay for expensive repairs through Apple or, more often, just buy a new device. This planned obsolescence contributes to a huge amount of electronic waste, or e-waste, which is full of toxic materials. Apple has made some progress here. They've started using more recycled materials in their products and have launched a self-service repair program, allowing customers to buy official parts and tools. These are welcome changes, but critics argue they don't go far enough. The core business model still encourages frequent upgrades, and the repair process can still be complex and costly for the average person. Finally, let's touch on the App Store. Apple has built what they call a walled garden. They control exactly which apps can get on your iPhone and take a commission, typically 15 to 30%, all sales and in-app purchases. They argue this is necessary for security and to ensure a high-quality user experience. But developers, from small indie creators to giants like Epic Games, the maker of Fortnite, have argued that this gives Apple a monopoly. They say it stifles competition and drives up prices for consumers, as developers have to pass on the cost of Apple's commission. This has led to major lawsuits and regulatory battles all over the world, questioning whether Apple has too much power over the digital economy. So, what's the takeaway from all this? Both Amazon and Apple are corporate behemoths that have brought incredible innovation and convenience into our lives. But that progress comes at a human cost for their workers, an environmental cost for our planet, and a competitive cost for smaller businesses. It's a complex issue with no easy answers. As consumers, being aware of these issues is the first step. It allows us to make more informed choices and to push for these companies to do better. They have the resources and the ingenuity to solve these problems. The question is whether they have the will. By continuing to talk about these issues, we can help create the public pressure that might just push them in the right direction. It's not about boycotting, but about demanding more accountability from the companies that shape so much of our world. Thanks for watching. If you found this video insightful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more deep dives into the topics that matter. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. See you next time.